Hey guys, another video here. Wasn't sure if I was gonna make videos on this, but figured I am. Camaro's over there. Still need to do a driving video on that, and I have been driving around, so sorry I've been leaving some of you guys hanging. I'm sure this video of the Ranger will come out first, but so, a little background on this. I just bought this last weekend for 500 bucks. Engine was running rough. Started playing around with it last night. Yeah, a little over the weekend last night. Tried a new coil on it. That wasn't it. Needless to say, it seems like we might have a couple cylinders low in compression, but doesn't smoke at all when it's running. I've driven it around, probably, I don't know, 60, 70 miles now. But at idle, it's super rough. And when you crank it over with the coil pack unplugged, something sounds a little off, so we're gonna dig into it here. I picked up a compression tester, rented it from O'Reilly's. So yeah, but back to what the truck is. It is a 98 Ford Ranger with a 3-liter in it. Real powerhouse down in there. Minnesota truck. It is fairly shiny, surprisingly. I washed it. And yeah, but obviously being Minnesota truck, got some rot down there. Oh, you can see my Sawzall down there. Cut the catalytic converters off it. Thought those might have been plugged, wasn't that? Sold it for 100 bucks, so I got 400 into it now. Here's the interior, not too bad. Classic Ford. So yeah, do a little walk around here. Box is pretty banged up in some areas, but overall not terrible. A little rust back there. It's worse on the driver's side. See kind of down there, and then that rocker is totally gone. So don't need that guy. Sliding rear window. It's got a little plastic thing in the bed liner, I guess, Duraliner. So yeah, that is about all I have to tell you about this, other than an auto 228 on her. So I think there might be something going on with the heads. Seems a little more likely, because if it was smoking, I would assume, or not smoking, kind of leads me to believe that it's not rings. But yeah, I will go through here and show you guys what we get on a compression test. And yeah, make sure you do a compression test now. Wide open throttle when you're cranking her over to get an accurate test. So I'm gonna get some crap out of the way, then I'm gonna take the air cleaner off and start working from there. Obviously gotta take all these plugs out. It's not as bad as you'd think they are to get to. These coolant holes just make it look really tough, but once you get those out of the way, it's pretty wide open. So yeah, I'll come back to you guys once I start getting some numbers on some papers. Okay, got them all out. As you can tell, they are basically all the same. This is number 6, which looks a little dirtier, but that might be from coming in and out. I don't know, but they don't have any residue on them or anything. And this one, number 2, is actually, I think that's the issue, and that one looks like perfectly clean. So yeah, next we're gonna thread the tester in, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys once we start getting some numbers on this guy. Obviously we want to be up in the 120 150 range, 150 being better, but I don't think we're gonna hit that on some of these. So yeah, we'll see. All right, so this is what we came up with. We just ignore that, not too bad. I like how that looks. But in all reality, obviously number 2 is having issues. And there's no oil on that. And I put these plugs according to what was this. Number 6 is very surprising, because I thought that for sure would be low too. Especially, here's number 6 plug. Remember, this one's the kind of blackened one like that. So now I'm wondering if number 6 might be an injector issue and not compression related, because these look great. Number 4, number 4 is getting a little low, but she'll hang in there. Number 2, that's too low. Obviously, a Ford Ranger cannot run at 80 psi. So if any of you are wondering out there, you know that you need more than 80 psi to run good. So, but anyways, I'm thinking probably a head issue because this thing has had no blow by at all. So probably need to tear into this motor and get the head off and get that at machine shop for them to look at it. I know the forums say it's more earlier years, yeah. More earlier years, no, more normally earlier, oh my gosh, I'm really struggling here. I'm all mixed up. Forum said 2002 and up had the head issues. It's obviously a 98, I think. I don't know, I never looked at the title. So, I think it's a 98. But, I mean, it does mean that this one can't be having head issues too. Something with the valve seat issues, and if you have all the plugs in and you crank it, you can hear compression leaking. So on this passenger side, which would make me think that it's leaking past a valve. Whether it's the exhaust valve or intake valve, I'm not sure. One way to do it would be to get it on a stroke that both those valves are closed and hook up an air hose to it and pump it in. But I don't have that attachment. Oh wait, I might actually have the attachment. I might have the attachment. I do have the attachment. Maybe I should try that. I might try that, see if I can hear where it's coming from, and then I will get back to you guys and show you if I can hear it. Hopefully that works. If that worked, that would definitely answer the old famous question there, if it's a valve leaking. Well, it might be hard to hear the air compressor running, but yeah, she's throttle here. I think we got a bad intake side. See, rockers are up. Now those actually do look like they moved down a little bit. Might try and rotate the engine. I'll be back in a second. Okay, take back what I said. I got the motor rotated better. Rotated by hand with the belt. Does the starter. That back intake port is open. And this front exhaust open. Those both those middle ones are closed. We got nothing coming out of the intake this time, but we do have a lot coming out of the exhaust. So you guys can hear that. But I believe it to be a bad exhaust valve. I'm gonna get the air compressor shut off, but I'll be right back. All right, back a little quieter in here now. But so yeah, basically states what I was thinking there. This shouldn't be, should be completely closed. No hissing, nothing like the intake became once I got the engine rotated. Let's say right when I plugged that in, I thought I saw the motor spin a little bit. So probably didn't have it fully down. So once it went down and opened the intake port, but the second time around I had it fully down, and yeah. So take out my little contraption here. Oh, if I can get that other one out. Didn't quite have the right thread pitch for the tool, but I didn't screw it in too far to wreck it or anything. Yeah, so I guess, okay, I'll get that out of camera. I guess next it's teardown time. We either have a cracked valve, that's such a thing. I don't know if that's such a thing, but something's going on. Probably a valve seat would be my guess, but judging by these numbers, I do not believe that it needs rings. I think it's just the head that is the problem there. I mean, number 4 is a little low, but that, who knows, that could be in the head too. And if I'm doing one, I'm going to do both. So both of them are going to go in, and we're going to leave the bottom end on it. and let her buck, I guess. I don't really want to put a ton of money in this. I kind of want to just get her going, drive it as a winter beater, have some fun with it. And once she starts burning oil, then I'll be like, well, time to redo the rings, but we got new heads. So yeah, I'm gonna get into getting that tool out first, and then probably get the intake off and stuff tonight. Maybe get the heads off if I'm feeling crazy. I know we'll have to drain the coolant and everything else, but I'll get back to you guys once I start making some progress. All right, guys, next day here. I'm gonna get to work on pulling the head off, and obviously everything else on top, so I'm gonna take you along with and show you how I'm gonna do it, because I have no idea. I've never worked on one of these before, so let's dive into it together. I'm gonna start with draining the coolant and probably, well, I don't know, intake manifold, get the hose out of the way and whatnot. Yeah, not sure what I'm gonna do about the manifolds yet. Might see if I can just take it all out together, because the exhaust is cut down there. If it will focus, there you can kind of see them cut right down there, right by that O2 sensor. So obviously unplug the O2 sensor, but yeah, we're gonna get going with that for now. I'll catch up back to you guys when I make some progress here. All right, thought I'd give a quick update here. Got the intake off, not too bad. Just throw things off the side, basically. Done worse, it's not terrible. Yeah, so kind of interesting how this is done, but it's Ford for you. I'd rather be working on GM, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. But so that's the point where we're at there. One thing I will say, we got this washing over here because this thing was absolutely filthy. Number, let's see, 3 back here. The push rod does not have a cutout, but every other one has a cutout. So I was sitting here fighting, trying to get this thing off. Couldn't figure out why. And that's why, because you have to take the rocker off, pull that one push rod out. You know, Ford things, you know, why have them all cut out when you could just leave one that's not, so it's a surprise. But yeah, you can kind of see how filthy this thing is. This whole top of the intake here, manifold, was just layered with grease and sand. I'm not sure why sand, but layered with sand. So next we're gonna try and get this head off. Yeah. I've kind of planned on maybe doing lifters. Probably not. I think it'll be fine. Worst comes to worst, just pull the intake apart again and change the lifters. So hopefully that head isn't going out. If not, I'm gonna keep this one to where that one could maybe be rebuilt. I just ordered a new head off of Amazon, so that'll be here shortly. Wednesday, I believe. Actually, it is Thursday today. So yeah, it was about a week for shipping, but yeah, we're gonna hold on to that one, obviously. Maybe rebuild it. I don't know. This one, when we look at the compression, 6 was good, and then these 2 were low, so that worries me. Maybe these are doing the same thing with the exhaust valve. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd like to see them all around 130 being cold. I know the spec says 150, but you gotta remember this thing has 228,000 miles on it, and it was a cold compression test, so usually if you do it hot, you'll get a little more compression out of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep going, see if I can get this head off tonight, and then it's basically just waiting for the new head to come in, and I'll have to go to the parts store and get head gasket and new head bolts for this side. That side, not touching ya. So yeah, gonna keep chipping away here. All right, head is off. Not too much of craziness going on here. Cylinder walls don't look too bad at all, actually. And still, if I can get the right angle for you guys, still see cross hatching, which is super surprising for the miles on this thing. So I need to make sure I get this cleaned out good. Probably rotate the engine over a few times. Freaking crap ton of sand and shit fell into the cylinders, so that's not great. A little upsetting pulling it apart, but yeah, so now to where the more exciting news is over here. So just glancing at it, you know, you might not notice too much other than this valve, which is the problem one. a different color than the other ones. Which that one's really black compared to up here, but anyways, it could be a whole problem with this. If we look at this valve, it's super recessed in there. Come over here, that one isn't as far recessed in there, but it's still crooked. This one is also kind of recessed back in there. So I mean, I can't say a whole lot here because I don't really know, to be honest, at this point, other than it's like crooked and really recessed in there. So I'm basically gonna wait for the new head to come in and see what that one looks like and then judge off of that. But either way, I mean, this was the problem one, which, yeah, you can kind of see, you know, not much up there and a lot down there. So I don't know. This guy might be burning a little bit of oil back here, but it makes me wonder, because obviously, all right, camera focus, there we go. Those other two were decent compression, so 5 and 4 have me a little worried about the valves maybe going bad on that side, which I didn't really want to put a lot of money into this thing, and I don't really want to buy another $300 head. Right, stupid as that sounds, it's $300, but I mean, for what this thing is, it's not like it's worth a ton of money. I mean, it's probably worth $2,000 or so, $2,500 maybe on a good day. So, I mean, right now I got $650 into it, but I still got to buy the head gasket, the head bolts for this side. So, thinking maybe this wasn't terrible. I mean, I literally did this after work, and I got like 2 hours into it, and I got this all done already. So, I mean, if I had to come back in here, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But yeah, so next step will be to destroy all my tools and get oil all of them and crap. But next will be to get these exhaust manifold bolts off. So probably gonna just soak those tonight, let them sit for a while. I mean, they are, I don't know if those are coming out, but we're gonna try and let them sit overnight. But I think that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next video when I start putting this guy back together. Not a chance one of these comes out. That one's already broke up anyways.